I made this outfit? I made this entire outfit. I'm speechless. Welcome. Today I'm making a whole outfit. Pants, as I point to my shoulders. Pants and a top. And I am so excited to make this for several reasons, but first I'm going to tell you what I'm using to make it. So for the pants, I'm using Simplicity Pattern 8389, the red pleated pant. And for the top, I'm actually using the bodice from a dress pattern by McCall's 8110. In 2023, my New Year's resolution was to be more extra. Okay, what does that mean? Well, in my mind, it means not wearing jeans and a shirt. Like I'm getting tired of just wearing jeans and a shirt. So I have started to make dresses, jumpsuits, and like outfits. And actually, I remember when I went to Beverly Hills for the first time, I was in the 8th grade, and walking around Beverly Hills and just being like, wow, people here like dress nice, but they're not just dressed nice, like they don't wear jeans, they wear like outfits. Like they don't just get dressed in the morning, it's a whole vibe, it's a whole outfit. And that's what we're creating today with these two patterns. I am actually using two dressier fabrics. Well, I want it to be an easy look. I also want it to be like an elevated, a little more elegant look. So the fabrics I'm using are this, you can see I've already cut into it, but it's this like cream, like silky solid that I got from Joann Fabrics. This is gonna be for the pant and the bodice of the top, and then for the sleeves, wait for it, wait for it. Does anyone recognize this fabric? This is the same fabric that I used to make the naked dress. I am actually gonna be using this for the sleeves. So we have nude pearlized tulle for the sleeves, and then a cream color for the bodice. So what do you think? This cream fabric is, I just don't feel like the camera is like even doing it justice. It just drapes so nicely and has such a nice feel, and the color is just, oh my gosh, it is so pretty. But it's also a little deceiving because it is very see-through, and while I already made a naked dress, I don't want this outfit to be a naked outfit. And just so you can see how see-through this is, I have the pattern laying here, and then I'll just take the fabric and put it over it, and like you can almost see the whole face of the outside of the pattern pouch. In this video, I'll actually walk you through what I'm doing so that the fabric is not so see-through. We don't want any wardrobe malfunctions or surprises. And then using the bodice from the dress pattern might actually be a little tricky because the bodice on the dress only comes down to about right here, which is like exactly where my waist is. And no, I'm not gonna show you because it's a naked dress, and yeah, I don't feel like being in a naked dress right now. So the bodice comes down to about right here. So I'm actually going to have to lengthen the bodice, but I'm a little concerned with just lengthening the pattern piece that it won't take into account like the widening of my hips because I want it to hit at hip length. So I think I want to add like 3/4 of an inch. So from here to here, I'm measuring out 3/4 of an inch, and I'm just gonna take that honestly all the way across. So like this. That might be too much, but we're gonna see. So then what I'm gonna do by taking this out 3/4 of an inch, I'm actually just gonna connect it to the end of my pattern piece here. So I'm going to line these two up. Got a little hole in there, but essentially this right here is where I'm going to cut, and this triangle here is the addition that I'm making to account for my waist. So cutting from here to here to here, and then I'm gonna make a dummy bodice to make sure that it works. As I am cutting out my trial bodice, I'm like, this doesn't have darts in it or anything, and like my material that I'm actually working with, the cream, is not stretchy, so I really wonder how this is gonna work. 100% that did not work. First of all, I couldn't even get it over my head originally. Like I'm just couldn't even get it over my head. I even put a zipper in the side to see if that would work better, but this is like, it needs darts and yeah. Apparently the pattern was only for knits. Didn't really recognize that ahead of time. We'll have to come up with plan B. So we're just gonna have to move on to the pants for now because the darts that I tried to put into the top 100% did not work. Nice try, Meredith, but that is not working. You can see I tried to put a dart in here. I don't think the bust point is like low enough, but I don't think that's my problem. So we ordered actual knit fabric, and while I wait for it to come, let's move on to the pants. And I just want to get out of this. So while I wait for new fabric to come in for the top, we're gonna get started on the pants. If you've ever wanted to know like what a pair of pants looks like before they become a pair of pants, keep watching. So this is one of the pant legs, and can you tell anything about the fabric? Like that it's not see-through. Yes, so in order to prevent the fabric from being see-through, I lined each one of the pant legs. And this is how each of the bottom pant legs is. So the hem is supposed to be 1/4 inch. So I cut off the bottom of the lining, leaving 1/4 inch so that when I go to hem this, I roll it up 1 1/4 inch, and then I will roll it again and that will lay flat and I won't have 2 layers of fabric that I'm rolling into the hem. Each pair of pants starts out with 2 front pieces and 2 back pieces, each with a U-shaped crotch seam. This pair of pants that I'm making in particular has pleats, so the first thing we're gonna do is make the pleats in the front. Each front pattern piece has pleat markings on there, and that is what I transferred to my fabric. So here's the wrong side of my pants with the lining, and you can see the 4 pleat marks that I traced with tracing paper. And per the directions, I am just going to line these up and then I'm gonna sew along that line. Look at how pretty those pleats look. Here is a closer view, and you can see on the inside I have them, like this is the sewing line, I have them pressed to the outside and then basted at the top. So once we get the pleats in the front, we are gonna sew the front to the back. So here's my front piece, here's my back piece, and I am going to sew right along this inner leg seam, which is at the middle of the U part. So this is the crotch right at the U. We're gonna sew all the way down this line, all the way down the inseam to sew the front and back together. Okay, front and back pant leg is sewn together at the inseam, and I feel like I know what you guys might be wondering, which is this fabric with the lining gonna be a little heavy and maybe not the shape or keep the same drape that we want it to? And the answer is yes, that is a concern, but too late now. We move on forward. So I've got 4 pant legs, 1 front, 1 back, 1 front, 1 back, all sewn at an inseam, still have this U length where the crotch goes. And of course, these pant legs have pockets. But actually, before I put in the pockets, step number 3 is to sew along this center crotch seam and combine front to front and back to back. So I'm just going to sew right along here. We have a center crotch seam, and now I'm gonna put in the pockets. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets, and in the lining material instead of the Silky Solid, just because I thought it would be just lighter. And I'm gonna take my pants, I already have my markings, and I'm gonna place each of the 4 pockets. I'm gonna place each of the 4 pockets on each front, each back, lining up the dots. So I have each of the 4 pockets sewed on as such. So this is right side, and then also, if you can tell, it's right side. So right sides to right sides, pockets are sewn in. And then I don't know if you can see it, but I did do a top stitch right along the seam there so the pockets will lay flat. So I've got my pants pinned together. You can see the 2 front pieces here with the pockets on the outside, and I'm just gonna sew up the leg seam, or up the outer leg and around the pocket. Some of you may have noticed, well actually, so I got my seam on the outside of the pant leg, and some of you may have noticed that I did this with the outsides already showing. So you can see my pleats here. The lining is on the inside. The lining is on the inside. Pleats are on the outside, and I have this unfinished seam on the outside. It's obviously like, I can't go out in the house looking like this. So I'm doing what's called a French seam, where I am actually going to end up turning this raw edge to the inside here, and I'm gonna enclose it so that on the inside I don't have a frayed edge. So here's the inside with the stitch complete, and I am just going, so now I'm just gonna get the seams ironed so that they actually look nice. So as I'm working with these pants, and just feel how so luxurious this white looks. This color cream reminds me of the same cream that J.Lo wore in Made in Manhattan when she changes into that outfit that's in the room that she's cleaning that wasn't hers. Coming back to a memory from when I was younger and went to Beverly Hills, and I remember the people who lived there, like walking down Rodeo Drive, all wore outfits. Like, I definitely remember noticing how just really well put together everyone looked. Meanwhile, I'm dressed in my overalls, which we won't go there, but I guess I just imagine myself wearing these pants, and hopefully the top, if I can get it to where I want it to, with my fabric choice issues. But I think I'm just gonna be trying to stroll down Beverly Hills with these nice luxurious pants. So yeah, that's the goal. All right, I'm getting ready to finish the waistband on the pants, and I'm very confused at these directions because the next set of directions are for a carrier. And I'm like, what is a carrier? Is that the actual like waistband because it carries the tie through? Like, my pants have a tie, so does it like carry it all the way through? No. Here's what I learned going through the directions. A carrier is a fancy name for belt loop, so we're gonna make some belt loops. A carrier, this is my pattern piece, actually starts off as one piece, and obviously this piece looks way bigger than a belt loop, so we're actually going to shorten it. And the first step to shorten it is to fold it in half. So I'm gonna fold it in half, and then I'm gonna iron it. Ouch! So now that I've got this ironed in half, it still looks too big. It still looks too big to be a belt loop, and well, yes it is. This folding it in half was actually just a marker. We're actually gonna open it back up, and then I'm gonna fold each half in like that. And I'm gonna iron each half in, and I'm just gonna bring it right to that, if you can see, like right to that fold line. I'm folding each in right to that middle fold line, and now I'm gonna iron. Well, my fabric is extremely difficult to work with, but I did, if you can see, get everything folded in half. It's just not staying. And yes, this is still too big to be a belt loop. So what's gonna end up happening is we're gonna have this folded in half and then fold it in half again, like this, and then sew along each edge. So I'll show you what it'll look like as a finished product. A couple of stitches later, and we have a carrier, aka belt loop. Now the next set of directions say to cut this into 4 equal pieces. So I'm gonna start by, how I'm gonna cut into 4 equal pieces is cut in half. God. And now I have 4 belt loops, aka carriers. Quick interruption because I finally got the new fabric in for the top. Because I was so nervous about the color, like matching the color of the fabric to the cream color of the woven fabric, I ended up ordering 2 different fabrics, and here's what they look like. All right, I've got them sitting next to a window here, so it's very, very natural light. Yes, both of these were labeled as cream colored, and as you can see, both are like 2 very different shades of cream. I'm really glad I bought 2 different fabrics, otherwise I could be screwed as to like not matching with the woven fabric of the pants, but oh my gosh, let's see which one matches best. Do you want to take any guesses? All right, moment of truth. Here are my pants. Here is fabric choice number 1. Yeah, definitely does not match. This is a double knit polyester, and you can see I bought actually a lot of it. We're not looking too hot. But option number 2, oh my gosh, I think this looks way better. I'm so relieved, but it's a pretty close match. I'm actually gonna take this one away. Doesn't have the same, like, I don't know, look and feel with the wrinkles. I just kind of hope that that comes through. Like, honestly, it's pretty darn close. Okay, to say that I am relieved is an understatement. We're gonna set aside the top for now though and keep going with the belt loops. Or the carrier, aka the carrier, aka the belt loops. All right, quick reminder on where we left off. I've got my 4 belt loops ready to go. You can see a little closer how I got 2 stitches on each side. And the next step is to attach these 4 belt loops to this lovely waistband. And as you can see, I marked the front of the fabric with this pin, so I know that this is the front. And then each of these markings here is where the belt loop goes. So the first order of business is each one lines up. This is the bottom of the waistband that's going to attach to the pants. So I'm just going to pin this here and then like at the dot, and then up here at this marking, I'm gonna fold this down. Fold it down until it hits just the top of that circle, just like that. Oh, that was really bad pinning. And I'm gonna sew here and across here. All right, I'm actually annoyed by this. So the directions say to fold this under 1/4 inch. Like 1/4 inch is not like a lot, like it's not a lot. So if I fold it over by 1/4 inch, let's just say I pin it right over that dot. So I got it pinned right over the dot. If I tried to fold this in half, like it doesn't really work. Like it's the belt loop or carrier is going over the top of the waistband. It would be too bulky. It would like fold over like that. And I just don't think that's supposed to happen. So I'm gonna have to adjust. Even in the directions here in the photo, you can see it going over this belt loop, going like, it's like mid the dot. It's not over the dot. So that's why I think it's supposed to be folded under more than 1/4 inch. Or the length of the carrier was wrong. I really wish that pattern companies did a better job. I am gonna fold over this carrier / belt loop. Also, can we work on our naming convention? I'm gonna fold over this belt loop, I guess, more than 1/4 inch so that when I fold this waistband, the belt loop is sitting right at the top. Okay, so this actually isn't the only piece that is the waistband. We have this little piece here that is, I don't know, interfaced for some reason. But this actually is going to be the front of the waistband, and it actually gets attached. Waistband is almost done. Yeah, pretty ragged still, but I just am going to fold it in half and then attach, and then we're like almost done. Waistband is in, and these pants are looking rather large, to say the least. So we're gonna put in the elastic waistband promptly and then see how they fit. How I'm gonna get the elastic in when the waistband already looks finished is if I turn the waistband and look on the inside, I left these 2 holes, and I am just going to take my elastic and start threading it through. Well, I still have the safety pins in, but I think they fit. I also finished sewing the wrap belt, and I don't know why, but I feel so luxurious just like even holding this. This is a top. It's a workout top that I got from Old Navy, but I kind of feel like I could wear it with these pants. Maybe not down Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills though. Okay, so to finish the pants, I'm just going to sew in the elastic and then hem, and then we're finally ready to get back to the top, which I am nervous about given the misfortune that was earlier. Okay, I think these are the most luxurious pants I have ever made. But side note, these are the only pair of pants I've ever made. But I guess just to be perfectly clear, these are the only pair of pants I have ever made. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. I've made at least 2 pair of pants. Like, what am I thinking? Like, it's got pockets, it's got a tie belt here, they are a lovely cream color, they fit pretty nicely. Man, I don't know what else I could ask for out of a pair of pants. I feel like these ones are really hitting the mark though. These ones are really hitting the mark. I mean, I feel luxurious just standing here. And I have like a Nike tank top on. Let's keep going with the rest of the top so I can feel even more luxurious. Let's recap where I left off with the top. Try number 1, ultimate fail, like literally had to cut myself out of it. Try number 2, tried to put darts in, also somewhat of a fail. Try number 3, I haven't shown you yet, but I did do try number 3 and I'll show that to you now. And here we have try number 3, which I can't tell if it's better or worse. Actually, what am I saying? This is definitely better. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. So this is actually the knit fabric, so no darts, but it is definitely more stretchy than the woven fabric of the pants. So after trying this on, I think I realized a couple of things I need to do. 1, I actually need to make and attach the full sleeve. I cannot just rely on this safety pin because it's really not fitting right. This is coming up too high. It's making the whole thing come up, I think. And then the other thing is I actually need to make the bottom a little wider. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like. Okay, but first, I want to show you the fabric I'm actually going to make the sleeves out of. Like, I'm actually going to make a top. If I'm going to make a rough draft of a top, I'd like for me to actually be able to wear it. So I'm going to keep using this fabric and then use this fabric as the sleeves, and we're just going to call it like sophisticated loungewear. To show you how I altered the pattern, I'm starting with the side seams, and I lined up my ruler so I could get the angle of the side seams, and I took it down about 9 inches. Once I came down 9 inches, then I measured out like about another 2.5. Honestly, I'm just guessing the 2.5 is gonna be how much more room I'm gonna need. Again, this is still a prototype and I'd rather have more fabric than less fabric, so I'm just gonna try it out. And then I kind of did the same thing where I lined my ruler up. This is gonna be cut on the fold. I lined my ruler up and then took this down another 9 inches. So I am gonna cut like along here, which this is a little harsh, so I'm gonna try to smooth it out a little bit, but I'm gonna cut here, here, and here, and I'm gonna do this to both the front and the back. And we did it. I put in the sleeves with the extra fabric I had and to really gauge how I was gonna measure around the neck, and I think it lays perfectly. It fits so good along the sides. Like, my body has enough to breathe, I can get it over my head very easily, and the length is just perfect. After trying and trying and trying, I finally figured it out. And now I have a second top to wear, which is even better. All right, now that I know that I've got it figured out, we're just diving right into the actual top that I meant to make because I can't wait to finish it. Both front and back pieces are supposed to be cut on the fold, but I don't want to waste that much fabric, so I'm just going to... That really didn't work out, did it? That did not work out how it was supposed to work out. That actually did work out like how I thought it was going to, because I am just going to put this piece on a single layer like that. And now I have the back piece. I've got part of the top assembled, but I don't think I've shown you what the back looks like. It has this keyhole design and I've got it lined with some nude elastic. The elastic is shiny. I thought it looked more luxurious with shiny elastic. So now I'm just assembling the sleeves and I'm about to put them on. I am honestly speechless. Sleeves are in, I just have to hem the bottom and now I have it tried on with the pants and wow. Like, did I make this outfit? I made this entire outfit. Like, I'm speechless. I can totally picture myself walking down Rodeo Drive in this. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go pick up something from Tiffany's. That's where I imagine myself going in this outfit. I want to wear this to a really expensive, really nice brunch or tea. I want to wear this to high tea. I want to wear this to high tea. I am in love with this. I think this is one of my most favorite things I've made thus far. I feel like $1 million in it. Well worth all the headache of trying to make this top because I feel like $1 million. And I don't even have my hair done yet, like, or my makeup. Like, this is just Sunday at home hair and makeup. I love it. I love it so much. I might actually have to wear it to Boston Fashion Week.